What is up, everyone? Guys, so the new Warbond just dropped. I managed to fully test it out, every single item, and that is precisely what I want to talk about and give you guys my honest thoughts about the purpose of this Warbond, or should I say at least what I think it is for this specific one. On top of that, what we're going to do is we're going to break down the gameplay value of this Warbond, and then I'm going to talk about the rest. So the first things that you need to know is that the weapon itself, let me find it real quick, is a light armor pen weapon, which was to be expected. The first time I heard about this weapon, I did have my thoughts that it would be light pen. However, I was hoping it was going to be medium pen, which obviously did not happen. I mean, it is what it is. It does do 200 damage. It has 20 in the mag, and the recoil is 29, fire rate 480. It has different modes as well. It has a burst mode and a single fire mode. The burst mode really isn't gonna do much for you. Mostly you're gonna be using it in single fire. Burst kind of feels like you're wasting ammo, to be honest, which is a downside, obviously, especially in a video game where ammo is always an issue. Now, when it comes to the factions, I did play this mostly against the bugs, but after the stream, I did test it against the bots as well. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that it is a great weapon against any of them. It's definitely not. And if you're trying to play on max difficulty, you're pretty much never going to be using this weapon ever. If you're trying to actually complete the highest difficulty, this weapon is simply useless, straight up. And on top of that, if you look at, for example, the Diligence Counter Sniper, it also has 200 damage, but it is medium armor pen. So in my opinion, you know, it's not even close. Right away gives you way more value than the weapon that we just got with light armor pen. You can use this on lower difficulties and just enjoy it that way, but that's about it. When it comes to the melee weapon, which is the sword, I gotta say the design, pretty cool. I like how it looks. In terms of performance, it's just another melee weapon, right? The attack speed is pretty nice on it, and you can get a lot of kills when it comes to the bug side, but that's the point, right? Like, melee weapons in general feel like they're created for the bugs. You're not going to be running around with the sword against the bots. I mean, you could be, but once again, when it comes to performance and gameplay, it doesn't really have any kind of value for you on any other faction than the bugs. Now, can you create some builds for this that are going to be fun? The answer is yes, and I'm going to be looking into that. But once again, if you're looking for this Warbond and specifically this melee weapon from the angle of, you know what, should I pick it up if I want to play on higher difficulties and perform really, really well and get clears and make the games easier? No, this melee weapon is simply not going to be doing that at all. And once we talk about the flag, you'll understand what is the issue in general when it comes to the melee weapons here, right? So overall, it says light armor penetrating, but you can literally run up to the charger and absolutely slap them around. It will deal tons of damage. In the footage, I'm not even using peak physique, but it still does pretty well. I'm not gonna lie when it comes to that. So with peak physique, I'm guessing it will do much better, or should I say 2 times better. It is what it is, just another melee weapon like you had the hatchet or any of the other ones. It's nothing special. It just looks cooler. And that also depends, right? Like, you might think that the hatchet looks better or the sword. Now, when we're talking about the next item, which is gonna be the flag, this one's kind of crazy to me because it's just a melee weapon. Yes, it has a flag, so visually and all of that, I'm gonna discuss that in the second part of the video. But first, I wanna focus on the performance of it because it is a stratagem, right? It really is a stratagem. That's crazy. It's a blue strat that you're giving up that slot for a spear that has a flag on it. But the damage-wise, performance-wise, it's just not as good as the lance. Like, the lance, in my opinion, feels better, and the stun on it is very, very nice as well. So, and the biggest thing, it doesn't take a blue stratagem slot, which is kind of crazy. It's just a secondary weapon. So once again, when it comes to gameplay, there is no reason for you to pick it up. Like, you're never gonna be running it for gameplay purposes. With the spear, you can also, for example, stun a charger and absolutely destroy them. They'll just stand there and you're gonna poke them and kill them. That's awesome. But yeah, the lance once again does the same. Now let's talk about the grenade real quick, which is kind of has like an identity issue in my opinion. There are some things that it does well, right? So credit where credit is due. For example, you were gonna have 6 of these grenades instead of the standard 4 that you get on other grenades base, okay? And it also does close down bug holes, which is very nice. Now, the thing is, though, it's kind of this stuck in this slot where, as I said, it has a identity issue because yes, it does spread fire, but the radius isn't that big. And on top of that, the grenade itself only does 50 damage. Meanwhile, you have an incendiary grenade and an impact incendiary grenade, which are just better. Like, they're just gonna do what this grenade does better. And they don't take an hour to start up. Now, the animation is cool, don't get me wrong. But there, you guys notice that there's a specific theme here, right? Like, they look cool, the animations are cool, and I'm gonna get to all of that here in a minute. And are you really gonna use this grenade over the other grenades though when it comes to performance, or even the gas grenade, which is ridiculously strong right now? No. Now, next up, let's talk about the armor passive, which is 50% chance to not break your limb. Once again, it's a really weird perk to me personally. You literally have a perk that says 50% chance not to die. Like, if I'm trying to pick up one of those perks that, you know, kind of gamble it, I would every single time go for that one because there's a chance I'm not gonna die. So that can come in clutch like 5, 7, 8 times in a row probably and save your life and feel you're gonna feel awesome. And that perk in general seems very weak to me. Like, it almost like just doesn't have any kind of purpose. And finally, the booster. The booster gives you 15% chance to loot double samples. Now, this is going to be good for new players or returning players who need to unlock a lot of stuff. There's no doubt about that. I wish it was probably like 25%. That would be cooler. But overall, it would make sense for a new or returning player to pick it up. And hopefully in the future, if they do add some kind of sample sync, it will be good for us too. Like, we don't know if they will, obviously. Hopefully they will. I was hoping that they would do it with this weapon customization, but that never happened. And maybe whatever comes next, or as the weapon customization gets more and more in depth, they will do it. I don't know. But currently, once again, if you're an end game player, no value whatsoever. And this all brings us to a specific theme that this Warbond has. Now, do I believe this is the worst Warbond when it comes to performance and gameplay on higher difficulties? There is no doubt about it. There is no doubt about it, okay? So if you're thinking to yourself, I like to play on higher difficulty, max difficulty, should I buy this Warbond? The answer is no, you don't have to, because it will have zero effect on your gameplay, on your build crafting, okay? That's the reality. When we're talking about the damage you deal or how much better you can perform without said Warbond, it doesn't carry a lot of value, so you don't have to worry about that. And especially if you're a player that doesn't farm super credits day and night, you don't have thousands and thousands of it, like, you know, just stacked up, let's say like 20K, 30K, whatever, you don't have to worry about it, okay? If you're that guy that, you know, plays 1 hour, 2 hours just to relax, have a good time, and you're thinking, I want to drop some money and collect some good Warbonds, this is not a good Warbond for you, okay? That's all I'm saying when it comes to gameplay. However, what I like to call this Warbond is a drip bond, okay? That's what I call it, because that's what it is. It's there for you to not perform better, but to look cooler and role play more. That's the value of this Warbond. There's a lot of players that enjoy role play. If you're one of those players, the sword looks cool, the flag looks really cool, okay? The armors are bangers, like visually speaking, the armors look very, very nice. So the theme of this Warbond is they didn't focus on the performance. They focused on roleplay and to give you guys more options to look cool, to shout for democracy and run in with a flag, kill as many things as you can, and then go down. That is the true story of this Warbond. And that is about it. But when it comes to gameplay and performance, this is hands down the least wanted Warbond on the list. Now, if you're one of those players that has your super credits, already thousands, yeah, pick it up. I mean, why not? And you'll have something to grind for and unlock as you're leveling your weapons on the side. That's absolutely fine. And if you're somebody, once again, that loves roleplay, you should go for it. I think you'll have a blast. Hop in with your friends, run around with the flags, you know, just do whatever you want to do and have a good time. Now, how could have Arrowhead avoided this and made it a little bit different? And not just a drip bond. Actually, I think it would have been so cool if they made it 2 changes. 2 changes would make this Warbond much better. Number 1, they needed to make the weapon medium armor penetrating and probably 30 bullets, or at least 25. And even then, arguably, the weapon wouldn't be insane or anything. It would just be more used. Okay, I think that would be change number 1. That would give it more value. Change number 2, I think that the flag should have some kind of maybe healing aura where it would pulsate if you're running around with it every like few seconds, 20 meters, 30 meters range. Heal your teammates up when needed, or give them, or maybe on top of that, keep that, and on top of that, give them melee buff when it comes to damage. That would also provide a new way to play the game and push a new strategy, such as like melee teams, right? Like everybody would run swords and lances and shields and whatnot, okay? And in that case, it would make sense. Now you have this feeling of a true MMO support character running around with the flag, healing their teammates. I think that's dope. I think that's a complete gameplay change, gameplay loop change, and that's always fun in a game like Helldivers 2. So if that would have been done, I think it would have been an absolute banger. Maybe, hopefully, they can adjust this in the future and maybe buff this warbond by those changes. And I think then the value of this warbond would go up tremendously. I'm just giving you facts as a player who plays on max difficulty, and I gotta tell you the truth, right? I'm not gonna sit here and lie. That's about it. That's all my thoughts on the warbond. Make sure to let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Stay positive, stay disciplined, and I'll see you all on the next one.